Okay, we are rolling now on this.
So what's going on?
1, 2,
You're playing
3.
by yourself?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We can switch and you can play all you want to. Do you want to play?
It just seems weird that you play a game and I just watch you play the
Well,
game.
usually the person who is talking, the subject, is the person who plays the game. Usually. Do you want to play it?
I'd be happy to play it.
Okay, here. You play it then. I'll tell you how to play. Do you know the? Let me show you the basics, and then
Okay.
I'll show you the basics, and then you can play.
Okay.
Every other game time is gone perfectly fine, where we just were playing the game and we were talking, and nobody else
But
felt
just
like
two
they
people-
had.
who's two
Nobody
people
else
playing?
felt like they had to tell me how to do it.
But who was playing the game before on other game times?
It was different for every one of them.
Were you playing?
Yes.
Were they playing at the same? You never played 2-player?
Sometimes we have 2-player. Very rarely do we have 2-player.
Really?
Because
Just one person playing?
yeah, you should
Okay,
watch.
go
The,
ahead. No, you
should
just
watch
do
the
it.
show.
Just do it.
You
Just do
should watch it.
Just do it.
All right, so this game is called Contagion.
Okay. Just play it.
This is a zombie. This is a zombie game. It's
Are we already recording?
We're already recording.
Okay.
We're already rolling. You want to go back?
Let's do it.
All right. So this is a game where this is. I thought this would be good to play because we're going to be talking about movie stuff.
Okay, cool.
And you know I like zombie movies.
I do.
You got me a very nice gift one time.
I did.
You
The
got-
George Romero.
You did.
Signed poster.
And
I met George Romero
It's your
in
hat.
order to get that signed poster.
Well, that sounds a lot better than your experience. That's better than my
experience.
What, really?
You had to meet me? Is that the experience that you're
No.
referring to?
All I got was a poster, and you got to meet George Romero. I got a poster that was like proof that you met George Romero.
Yeah.
So here, I'm a zombie in this, and I kind of jumped into the middle of the game, so I
Cool.
started as a zombie.
Okay.
But the way this works is this is a FPS deathmatch game, and when you die, you become a zombie. So there's like this environmental hazard the entire time, which are these zombies, and then when you die, you become one. So as a human, you have to watch out for the zombie players, the zombie in the environment, and then the other PvP hunter players. Like there's no, that's a zombie. You usually tell the humans because they move a little bit faster. And I get all this little stuff I can do. Like
So now you're trying to turn humans into zombies?
basically, I'm just trying to kill humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens to them after they die is like their business.
But now, what do you think? What is you have very specific feelings about zombies and
Oh, there's a dude.
whether like fast zombies are appropriate. Am I wrong about that? You don't like fast zombies, am I right?
I don't. Well, I wouldn't say that I don't like fast zombies. Look at that. I won. Okay. So now I'm gonna start again as a human here. I wouldn't say that I don't like. That this is a big reason why I chose this game.
Okay.
That I don't like fast zombies. My thing is I prefer slow zombies. I like both fast zombies and I like slow zombies, but I think slow zombies are much more interesting.
But
to
you could
me.
say I prefer anything. That's like, do you prefer to eat a hamburger or your own feces? You could say.
Well, then I would
prefer to eat
specifically
a
say I don't like
hamburger.
eating my own feces. I wouldn't be
I thought I've
hemming and
heard
hawing.
you. I think I've heard you speak strongly about fast zombies in the past. Is what I'm saying.
I just really, really prefer slow zombies. I like the idea that it's an overwhelming force, and it can take over. Like
Now, are you this way about all subjects? Or like slow dancing versus fast dancing? Are you slow? You're very much pro slow dancing.
that would
And
fall in
you
that
don't-
category.
You don't like to do like the hustle.
I don't do the hustle, but
don't
if
do the
people
hustle.
want to do the hustle in their spare time,
If
go crazy.
The zombies were doing the hustle, and it's a zombie hustle.
Oh. Classic headshot. Got to get a headshot to kill a zombie. That's the other thing I like too. Is I like zombies that don't stop unless you get a headshot. Which these ones actually do. You can like pound away and kill them by shooting the torso.
Yeah.
But you're better off. Ammo's a big deal in this game, and so is running in anything else. I sniffled into the microphone. I hope that's okay. Yeah, but I like the Romero style. I like the idea that like there's an enemy that's just relentless. They're never gonna stop, and they just wear you down.
The unstoppable force.
Yeah. And this one actually, I think they bounce. Oh, there's a dude.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna hit him with my flashlight. Oh, he sees me.
No, wait. Why are you guys killing each other?
It's a video game.
You're a human. Is he? And he's a human.
He's as bad with his damn machine gun as I am with my sniper rifle. Yeah, he's getting all my stuff now too. But I know where he is
In
now.
the zombie apocalypse, do people just want to kill each other?
Yeah, pretty. You never watched Walking Dead?
I haven't watched much Walking Dead, and I would like to get back and watch that. It's one of those I just have been putting off and intend to watch, in a one long stretch.
One thing that's interesting about
It's
Walking
fun to
Dead.
watch. It's fun to watch it for me because I grew up in Atlanta,
Killed that guy.
so I see stuff, locations and stuff that I recognize, and that's fun.
Yeah, and the iconic image from Walking Dead is that one freeway that's totally choked down. You can completely relate to that, I bet. Atlanta have bad traffic?
Atlanta does have bad traffic.
Yeah.
I don't know if Atlanta's traffic is like L.A. level traffic.
You know, we had the long
But
running
if it
argument,
snows-
you and I, which has worse traffic, L.A. or Austin?
And I would say Austin. And my rationale for
Just
that.
a lunatic
My
to say
rationale
that.
for that.
Is that you're crazy?
Well, certainly, but that's my rationale for everything. My rationale for the traffic specifically.
Do you prefer lower
it's
traffic
that
or higher
I
traffic?
prefer slower traffic versus fast traffic. Is that Austin's traffic is unpredictable. LA traffic is bad.
That means nothing.
But you know that it's going to be bad, and you know when it's going to be bad, and it's going to be bad at rush hour, which is basically like 2 to 7. It's almost the entire day. But you know it's going to be bad, and you know where it's going to be bad. Austin only has like one legitimate freeway, and that will sometimes get a traffic jam, often get a traffic jam at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and you have no idea why. And it makes no sense, and you can't do anything to get around it because there's no other roads to take.
It's
We
all
got
bad.
one road.
It's all bad. Traffic's bad no matter where it happens or how it happens. And the fact that you know that LA traffic happens a lot. Oh, look, here's a dude. Oh, he's trying to fight off everybody. So you can call other zombies
Okay.
to be your buddies.
I wasn't paying attention. When did you become a zombie? You were a human a second ago.
Yeah, I got a guy.
when you
I think it was
died?
that dude, actually. I think it was that dude. He killed me with a
when-
machine gun. Remember when I was trying to snipe him and then he got
Yeah,
me?
but why does that make you a zombie? And
That's just part. It's just when you respawn.
wouldn't
you
that
respawn
normally
as a
just
zombie.
make you a dead person?
Yeah, well, this is the problem with the world we live in now, where it's a post-apocalyptic world where anybody who dies turns into a zombie. You know what's cool about The Walking Dead? Going back to that, what's cool about The Walking Dead is it started as a graphic novel, right? When they adapt it into the television show, they use the graphic novel, the source material, as way more of a guideline than an actual story, because got him. You can do like a hard grapple here if you come up behind somebody. That runs a chance of infecting him, and then he can just slowly become a zombie.
Hard grapple sounds like it's either a wrestling term or like an off-brand of cider.
It sounds like a southern dish. I'll have the hard
I'll have
grapple.
Can I get one hot brown and follow it with a side of hard grapple?
Oh, look at this dude. What is he doing? He does not. Oh, I got
He's
it.
giving him a hot brown.
All right, so now you think you have enough information on how to play the game?
Nope.
I literally told you nothing except for there's slow
I'm
zombies.
gonna be honest with you. As soon as I start this, I'm gonna ask what they would
You're
do in
in.
Walking Dead, and I don't know what's
You're
going
in.
on.
You're gonna say no. Where's the traffic?
Where's the traffic?
What time does rush hour start? All right, now Matt's in. Matt's on my
Can I
account.
just do a production note for the audience?
Matt, how?
That's funny to me is that we switched microphones.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, but just like to play the game, like we physically got up, we switched chairs, we switched microphones. It just looks really silly if you can see us. It looks like we're doing like a little, musical chairs number.
We've worked together now for how long? 15 years?
Well, all I remember is I was stuck in traffic.
This is the problem.
And then-
You gotta criticize everything. You can't just it's like you always have to find a way to make the production better. It's perfectly fine. Nobody knows we got up and switched chairs.
But it's
Nobody.
funny if they see it. It's funny. I'm saying that makes the production better. This is a comedy show, comedy channel, right?
Well, I guess.
Right? I mean, we could do this. I could sit in your lap.
You know
That
what
would
else
make
it is?
even
It's a
better.
gameplay channel. Why don't you move your
Okay,
character?
I know.
Shoot the
okay,
bird.
Die, bird, die. Did
Now,
I get it? I think
when,
I got it.
when you
Nah,
fire,
fucking bird.
firing your gun is actually auto reload, and it's not gonna auto reload. You gotta do it, and you can run while you reload. Now in this game, when you fire, it's a big deal because then other people can hear you, and it does a great job of audio direction of telling you where things are. Oh, and you click the right mouse button to go down and look down your sights.
Oh,
Gotta
okay.
hold it. There you go, buddy.
Cool.
I would reload too. Oh, that is a dude.
Oh, he's shooting me.
You got him. You got him. It's all you. This is for Atlanta.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you deserved
Didn't I
that
shoot
one.
him in the face like 20 times?
I thought you deserved that one.
Come on.
That's the way it works sometimes. That's the way it works for FPS
Actually, you know
games
what?
for
I've
me.
been looking forward to being a zombie though. This is good.
And so when
That's
they
a
work on
sentence
Walking
I've
Dead,
never said before.
going back to the Walking Dead thing. So when they take the graphic novel and when they adapt it for television,
Where's this supposed to be set? This game we're playing right now.
I don't know. I really don't
I
know.
don't recognize these trees.
You're really tied into geography. So here, you can hit R. Here's all your things you can do up there. You can hit R to roar. You can hit B to blend in. You'll walk like a regular old zombie.
Okay.
And that's kind of important because the hunters.
He started off there with like a nice little 70s disco move.
Yeah,
Didn't he?
little
He's
shimmy.
like, hey, check me out.
He had a slow hustle.
Stu the zombie.
There you go. So then you get out. And I really don't know at this point how command works because I've tried to command my zombies in my
And then can I
group.
eat this guy or what?
No, if you hit R, you can make him join your group, though.
Or Hey, you.
There you go. Now you have 2 out of 15 followers. You can like hoard up all your zombie buddies, and that helps because the hunters A can't really find you, and B it's just more people to attack a survivor when you find one.
Does everyone in my zombie gang have a members only jacket?
A patent leather.
Is that how you know that you're in the right zombie gang? Is by the jacket?
That's how you guys roll. That's when the infection broke out. Was on the '80s night at the club. They were listening to Duran.
Ricky Schroeder was the first one to go.
Oh, there's a dude. So you can hit E to climb that fence.
E to climb the fence. Okay.
They're already eating it up.
I'm not.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you get a little icon. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There was people on top of the fence for you. Go after that dude.
Oh, I'm flying.
And you hit shift to run if you want to. Shift and W. There you go.
There we go.
Look at you.
This is fun.
So now you're fast zombie.
Yeah.
Made the transition. But we haven't really done a lot of adapted material at Rooster Teeth. We've done a lot of licensed material, which is based on source material, but not exactly an adapted story.
Yeah.
But we're getting to the point now, I think, as a company where we have some people that are like directing. Like you just finished directing Day 5, which is a post-apocalyptic thing.
Yes.
And that's a different post-apocalyptic thing.
We never had this shot right here.
The shimmy run.
The shimmy run with the arms in front of the camera. I wish we'd had that shot.
But in a sense, I mean, we've been so focused on like when everybody works on a project here, it's usually everybody works on the project, and the people who make the project are involved with it from beginning to end. Like they're there when the script is written, they're there when it's shot, they're all the way through post-production. But we're getting a more sophisticated production model here at the company where that's not always the case. Like somebody could potentially hand you a script for a show that you're going to direct that you've never seen before. I mean, we're kind of getting to that point, right? I mean,
I think so. Yeah, I think what you're getting towards is that it was interesting because there were only like 2 or 3 Rooster Teeth people on it out of a crew of like 25.
Yeah, and it depends on even like where you draw that line of Rooster Teeth people and what they were in, because Joel was in the cast or is in the cast.
Right. So he doesn't count.
No, God no. And then you directed it.
I directed it, and then there was Kara did wardrobe, and Steffi was there, and Doreen, of course, produced it.
I don't think a lot of people are going to know who Doreen is, even though she's really important to the company.
Yeah.
Right now. In fact, I've been trying to get Doreen. She's our producer. She first came on for The Gauntlet. That's it. You're good. They all killed each other. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So now you get a chance to be a human again, which is the harder part.
It seems like it.
Let me just warn you. When you find a gun, you're going to hit E to pick up a gun.
Being a human is hard.
Tell me about it. It's not as boring as being a zombie, though.
Not just a game, people.
This game really is. It does capture the total post-apocalyptic experience, at least in the zombie environment, where being a human is scary all the time.
Wait, I got the same bird.
It's okay.
Why are you bird?
It's just you started in the same place. If you go to the tents, you might be able to go that way. If you go to the tents, you might be able to find some weapons.
Or this way.
You can go every way you want to. Okay. It's your world, boss. And then you can go in here to those tents, or to your left there might be some bathrooms. Okay. And if you go into some of these structures, you can't climb as a human. That's one of the
that makes
drawbacks.
Sense. Perfect. Yeah, obviously.
It's been that. They got to have balance in the game. The zombie just runs with his hands out in front of him. You got to give him something in life, or an undead life. All right, now go in here and on some tables there might be some weapons. Like look there, and I'll highlight and you hit E to pick it up. That's some ammo. So pick that stuff up.
Yeah. Now I want to get on the internet. Can I do that?
No, you can't. Clearly.
Come on, internet. Damn it.
Look, I just warned you earlier that shooting is a problem, and you're just shooting away. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? If you shoot, you got a problem. Now this guy's coming in. He's gonna ransack your body. You got nothing.
Oh,
Tough, dude.
Again. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but do you think Doreen would do a game time and talk with me? Because she started with us when she did. We did the first Gauntlet.
After I tell her about this experience, I guess no.
You're just bitter and old. It's terrible.
I can't deny those things.
But even like we're going into Lazer Team. We've got a group of writers that are working on it.
Yeah.
It was original story that we developed, and then had from the treatment and the first half draft, basically the first rough draft. That guy knows where, dude. Get him. You got him. Left mouse button. We get close. Get him. You got him. Look at that guy with terrible shot. Oh, he's miserable.
Oh, where'd he go? Now he's got Oh, I killed him.
You got him.
Badass.
Wow, that was revenge.
Yeah.
Zombie revenge. What are you gloating? What are you gonna do?
Can I squat? Can I do the squat?
Yeah, I think you hit control. Zombie teabag.
There you go. That's terrible.
I like you say it's terrible, but you keep doing it.
Just awful.
You do it more.
Can you imagine if a zombie? There's only 2 things they were programmed with. One is eat your brains, and the other one was teabag.
Teabag you after they eat your brains, before you can become a zombie yourself. That would be nice. That would be the ultimate humiliation. Get killed by undead shambler, and then he crouches all over you.
Something like that. They should put that in The Walking Dead. The fact that they haven't shows that The Walking Dead is less creative than this little brainstorm. I don't even know what I'm doing.
You're good. You're good. You were trying to find your thing. Oh, we're loading a new map here. I'm sure a lot of people have heard the story of how we got started. You know, as a company, when it always leads back to before we were even a company, when you and I met in college. Mm-hmm. All right, I got this one. All right, now this is a suburban neighborhood. This one's a little bit tougher for me to navigate because I don't know it as well. But I'm still gonna do way better than you did. It's gonna be great. But we met back in college. Matt and I met back in college, and the first thing we ever worked on was a movie together.
Well, not the very first thing.
What was the very first thing we worked on together?
I think the very first thing we worked on was Sneak Peek. If you can consider what I did on that show working, which it really wasn't. It was mostly just screwing around.
Explain to everybody.
Getting to see free movies because of what you started.
That was basically, yeah, we started Sneak Peeks just so that we would have the ability to go and see free movies. I think she wants to be friends. That's not going to work. Oh, don't shoot people. I see. What did I do wrong here? We switched game types.
She's got a members-only jacket on.
We switched game types.
She has a members-only jacket. Come on.
I'm going to apologize to this person. Sorry. All right.
I love game etiquette.
So I think this
I shot you in the face. My bad.
All right. This is the one where we gotta go find our extraction zone. I hate this map. I hate this goddamn game type. Actually, it's not as fun. It was if you follow our phone here and it takes us to a house full of survivors, is what it does. All right, let's see what we got here. So we met in college, and one of the first things we worked on was we worked on a movie together. That was our first big project we worked on.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember I first met you because you were going to make I was teaching an editing class, and you were going to make this Kung Fu series where, in order for it to be just like a real Kung Fu series, you were going to dub over everyone's voices, even though all the actors were English-speaking actors. You were going to dub over them anyway.
Some of them didn't speak English very well.
Well, that's very true. Some of them were Joel.
That's right.
And that's actually how I met Joel, because Joel was in that series
and Sean Dugan,
who plays York in Red vs. Blue.
Yeah.
And those two guys were in our first movie. But I remember because I heard this idea that you had, I was thinking, that's going to take him for fucking ever. And then I saw you about 3 months later, and you were in the editing room, and you were complaining about how late you had to work doing this overdubbing thing. You're like, man, this is taking me forever. And I remember, even though I didn't say it to you, I thought to myself, told you so, asshole. That was actually the first experience I remember with you, was that. All right, so now I'm shooting these zombies, trying to get an extraction here. If I think I'm playing the right game type too. I'm playing the extraction game type. So we just basically have to clear this house and hold off a horde here. And so Sneak Peek is actually the movie review show that we worked on in college. That is still running to this day.
Yeah, it's like the longest running University of Texas show ever. It's probably the longest running student-run production ever.
You are correct. It is the longest running student-produced show in the world. At least that's what they tell me. That's weird. Two weird longevity goals that we've hit at while working is one. That's one, and the other is that Red vs. Blue is the longest running web series in internet history. Somebody just said help on text. If you have time to text, you're fine, right? That's the rule.
So,
help! I'm dying, lol.
Help! I can't stop typing.
BRB dying. Oh, look at that. That's a great shot. I'm good at this. Where were you? This is a nice house, dude. They got they got a poker room down here. They got some pool tables. They got the whole den built out. But and then you went off. So after college, and we did the schedule, which was our first movie. You went off to sunny Los Angeles and built a whole career out there, working on movies like Scooby-Doo and SpongeBob and all that stuff. All right, we're joining a new server now. So, what would you say was your favorite movie that you worked on the entire time you were out in LA?
Besides ones that were rated XXX.
Besides those.
That I started.
Besides the moneymakers.
I liked working on all of them, really. There were a couple that got kind of stressful. Scooby-Doo got kind of stressful, but
There's always stressful, just like crunched for time.
It was crunched like the entire time.
Dickheads
for some reason, and there were a lot of like personalities that didn't get along.
That makes sense.
You know, but I liked Driven a lot, which was a Sylvester Stallone movie that I was on.
Really? Driven?
Mm-hmm. And it was fun because it was like a big production, and there was like, fast cars, and we were out on racetracks a lot and just doing, big cool stuff, and we were trying things that hadn't really been done before. We did this shot that was like a Matrix style bullet time kind of shot, but we did
remember
it with
that.
all like slow motion cameras and then morphing and stuff, so it was really different. And I was a visual effects producer on that, so I was able to kind of like find ways to insert myself in the movie in different ways. I got killed by a tire.
And does that help?
In the movie.
Does that help, like, too, when it's like one of your first projects you work on is like that new enthusiasm as well? I mean, is that part of it?
Oh,
Driven?
yeah, sure, definitely. When it's something really big, and you get to feel like you're helping really make it happen.
You're making a movie.
Post production's interesting on a movie because when you have production, there's so many people around. It's really crazy, and it just seems like it's this machine that just has a life of its own. Then when you get into post, things kind of slow down, and everybody's working together more closely, and everyone knows each other's names, which is often not the case on a big set. And you feel like every single thing you do is integral to the thing actually getting finished. So that was fun too, because we didn't have a huge budget for that, but we had a ton of visual effects shots to do. So what we ended up doing was we created our own little in-house studio. And Brian, who was my boss on that, he was the visual effects supervisor, who now works in India, by the way.
Really?
Yes, he is a visual effects supervisor in India. Did the Indian Matrix.
What is that like? Have you seen it?
Vindaloo Matrix.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I had no idea about it, but it sounds like I'm sure there's a big dance number after Neo, joins the Force.
Dude, I'm gonna go have to look that up. Please find out the name of it. I would love to go see that.
So, but what we did is he and I set up a little studio in house, and we had about 10 guys that worked for us on that. Jeremy Burns, remember him?
I do.
Yeah, he worked for us on that. And a few other guys who were really good and ended up working with on a lot of other movies later. And that was fun. It was a little shop. It was kind of like, similar to how we set up Rooster Teeth in a way.
I'm muting everybody. Yeah, it does sound very, very similar. Oop. No, be nice to me. Ah, damn it. I was muting everybody because they were jackasses and then I get killed. Well, the good news is they're all killing each other, too. Yeah, so, I mean, it's, starting with the shop, I mean, that was all visual effects, 10 guys. How long did it take us to get to 10 guys? Like 5 or 6 years?
It seemed like it took forever.
Yeah, I mean, because we were basically working on one show for a long period of time.
I mean, actually, now that we think about it, 10 guys, we probably didn't have 10 people until like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when it's like Brandon, Monty, Jack, and Carrie all started pretty much the same time, right? Am I forgetting somebody else?
No, I don't think so. So
and that would have been like going from, 5 to 9 or 10.
I was trying to grab that dude. Look, they're having a party here. Look at that. Yeah, so it was Nathan was the first guy that we hired outside the group, I guess you could say. If you want to say outside the group. Started with me, you, Jeff, Gus, Joel, Jason, Dan.
Yeah.
And then Kathleen came on probably halfway through season 1. As a voice actress. That was, everybody had, basically voice acting duties. Mm-hmm. And you'll marry as well. But Nathan was like the first guy we hired to work in the office. And back in the office, those days, it was me and you, Jeff and Gus, Jason and Nathan. Dan never worked in the office.
Nope.
He worked for one day. You remember that?
No, I didn't.
He came in for one day and was like, yeah, it's just, he wanted to go back to his coding job, basically. It was in the Buda office. And, it was funny because back then we had this joke where it's like, it seems like all we do is sit around and play video games, and that's not what we do at all. But now there's actually people in the company who play video games all day. They don't sit around, but they play video games all day. But, so he came in. So back then that was all the way through Buda. That would have probably been through the first 5 years of the company. We were at 6 people that worked in the office. And probably altogether we probably had about 15 people altogether. That
6 people doing 2 people's work.
We were talking about the other day was that there's this equipment hassle. Oh, there's a dude right there. I got him. I got this guy. There was an equipment thing the other day where somebody had a camera and they had it on their desk and then the camera was instantly gone. Somebody else used it for a production. And they were like, you got to be kidding me. And I pointed out that there was a long period of time where we only had one computer that you could edit on in the whole company. And it used to drive me crazy because you in particular were the person who would just like take that computer and like rewire the whole thing and try new things on it, which, you know.
Well, I was trying to, make you feel at home from the old days at TSTV.
Oh, God.
When we worked at that station, it was so funny.
In college. This is our college TV show, yeah. Our TV station.
Like, there was a row of monitors set up so you could, like, it was what they called an A-B roll because we didn't have computer editing back then. So you had 2 tape decks. One was A, one was B, and you would cut the stuff. And
you made it sound like the oldest people on the planet when you said that.
It feels old. It feels crazy.
Yeah. We built a computer editor.
We shot a movie on film.
Yeah.
I mean, I edited on film in college, But in TSTV, so where those monitors are, the TVs, if people didn't like the way that their stuff looked,
oh my God,
they would reach in there and they would adjust the hue and the brightness and the contrast on the TV, thinking that somehow actually affected what was on the tape.
Their project.
And it doesn't, of course. It just affects what you see.
Yeah.
So they'd take their tape out and go watch it on somebody else's TV and it was like, oh, it doesn't look good, but if you come to the station with me, I'll play you how it's supposed to look.
Matt, there's a little like door that stood over those brightness and tint and color with the 3 knobs. And we had to tape over that door to keep it from being, and people would peel off the tape to adjust the settings on there.
And then there was a sign on there saying, don't adjust these. And people would take that sign off to adjust them.
We eventually just had to glue the thing. It was like crazy. We'll just tell all of our customers in the future to make the same adjustments to their monitors at home. It's just one of the most ridiculous things ever. But so we grew to the point where that guy got me. Oh, we took her out though. We got her. We grew to the point eventually where we just had enough equipment for everybody and for multiple productions at the same time. I mean, right now we're getting to the point where we need multiple Let's Play environments. I had to go take this mixer from somebody else. Gus is gonna be pissed when he finds out.
Oh, did you steal that from Gus?
He's working on another set. Yeah, so I just went in and yanked it. Yeah. It's like that's the way it works.
I feel bad for Gus lately. It seems like every time he turns around, somebody's stealing something else from him.
It's just, but in the same sense, at the company we have that spirit of if somebody's working on something, that production is what matters most.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize too.
I think the slogan is basically "fuck your needs, I'm working."
Pretty much. I don't think a lot of people realize, Matt, how hard production people work, which makes it sound like, oh, we're such hard workers or whatever. But like in a production day, like when you were on the set of Driven, you got to racetracks. How long would you guys be out there in a day? Like, what would your work day be like?
A good day would be 12 hours.
Man, it's crazy.
Not including travel. I mean, we just did day 5, and day 5, almost every day on day 5 was 14 or 15 hours.
Tell people a little bit about day 5 because it fits in with the theme of what we're doing here.
So, those of you who were at RTX a couple of years ago will remember us talking about day 5. We had the big shoot with everybody came to RTX where we got everybody out on Congress and closed down 6 blocks for a shot for day 5. And I'm not going to tell you where that shot ends up in the final product, but it is in there, and we're excited about it. But we just hadn't had time to get day 5 done, and we thought, man, we really, really want to get this done, and we should get it done before we get in to doing Lazer Team, because then it's going to be you have to push it out even further. So we have Joel in it, and we have several other actors that we cast here locally in Austin that we hadn't worked with before. They were all really, really tremendous, and a great crew that Doreen put together.
And what is the show?
Day 5 is actually I was so busy directing it I never figured out what the story was about. What is the plot of day 5? Day 5 is about an incident that happens one night in the middle of the night. Everyone who is asleep or who goes to sleep dies.
Right.
So the world is left with these people who aren't zombified, but they are. Their minds are deteriorating. They're starting to get delusional and crazy and everything because they've been without sleep for day after day after day, while the world tries to figure out why is everybody dying when they go to sleep. So you can't go to sleep.
And it's called day 5 because it starts on day 5.
It's on the 5th day of this terrible event scenario, what have you. So we pick up with a cast of characters that are trying to deal with this, trying to figure out what the solution for this might be, and trying to deal with their sleeplessness. and a lot of antics ensue.
I'm in the pool. Look at that. Well, this is all prepared for winter here. But the reason why we settled on that particular vector for our apocalyptic thing that we wanted to make was it was very much based on what we could do, right?
Right.
So we couldn't do a zombie apocalypse like this one because the way a zombie apocalypse looks is that, people try to escape the cities and they choke down the freeways with, lots and lots of cars, just like in Walking Dead, that famous promotional image from there. But we didn't want that. Nobody, when they fall asleep, nobody gets in their cars, gets on the freeway, and then falls asleep in traffic. That's not the way that works. The way our apocalypse works is that everybody went to sleep one night, and the world just never woke up the next day, except for the people who were already kind of separated from society and would be up at that time of night in the part of the world where our thing happens.
Right, so people working at an all-night diner or some other job where you're up all night, what have you.
Miscreants,
vagrants.
But also, though,
ne'er-do-wells.
Also, though, the people that, the good people, if you want to call them that, are the people who run the basic services that we have to have running all the time, too.
That's right.
So there's always a third shift for, medical professionals, for people who run utilities and things like that. Those people work around the clock as well. So all the basic services are covered. And, all the stuff like, no offense to the accountants out there, like accounting, and, video game Let's Players, all those people would have been asleep, because they don't have to be up in the middle of the night. Of course, there's some video game Let's Players who were up just because, they were up playing the latest game or something like that. But we thought it was a fun way to do it, right? And so that's the way we've always approached productions at Rooster Teeth. It's like, what's the next logical step for us to make?
And it seemed like a pretty logical step. So it was good. But I think we started out that just talking about how much work production is. And people, I think, are always surprised by that. I think also always surprised by the pace, because like you watch a movie and it's all put together, you play a video game, it's all put together, and it just feels like bam, 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 go, go, go. But the reality of it is, 3 seconds that you see in a movie might have taken, 10 hours to get done. You
know what I always say about movie making? My philosophy of movie making is take a year and a half of your life and get 90 minutes of it right. That's basically the way it boils down. True. Is that you're going to spend that amount of time, and as long as you get the 90 minutes on screen right, you've got a good movie. But video games, some video games with teams that are double or triple the size of some movies, they'll take 4 or 5 years to produce.
Oh, yeah.
Bungie is just about to release Destiny, which, with marketing and everything, has a $500 million budget.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah. And adjusted for inflation, that is more expensive than any movie ever.
Wow.
You know what the most expensive movie ever made is now?
Not Avatar?
It is not Avatar. Avatar's like number 4 on the list. It is the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie, The World's End. That is the most expensive movie ever made. I think it's like $380. That guy doesn't know what's about to hit him. I got a lot of buddies on my side.
There's Keith Richards in there.
I think why? Do you think Keith Richards comes with a lot of budget?
I'm just wondering, it's like, how much of that was just alcohol?
How much of that was the blood of virgins, to wake him from his slumber every morning? What did that cost? Is that above the line or below the line?
It was a transfusion every morning.
But it's crazy how much our approach to production has changed. And then, so when we look at doing a day 5, day 5 in a lot of ways was a response to what we were already doing at the time with shorts and our other live action productions, is that we wanted to do original stories. We wanted to do narrative, cool stories, but we had to do things that made sense. And I remember in my mind in particular from the shorts, I didn't want to be doing topical current event stuff, because then when we were making shorts, when we got into topical current events, even stuff that was really popular, like our most popular video is the Angry Birds trailer. But after a while, it was how quickly can we come out with the iPhone 5 video? Or how quickly can we come out with the parody of the Game of Thrones spoiler video? You know what I mean? It's and after a while, I felt like that wasn't particularly rewarding. And I think you agreed, because you were like, yeah, let's do some bigger stuff. I mean, I think we both felt that way. I don't want to speak for you, but...
No, I mean, it's a lot more fun and satisfying to be able to craft something and spend a long time working on it. When you are trying to get out something that's basically a response video every week, you're more concerned with just trying to beat somebody else to the punch than you are, the level of craftsmanship craftsmanship that you can put into it.
It just becomes like a daily race or a weekly race, like
Yeah.
a weekly sprint, as opposed to like a long, steady race where you're doing something that you want to do.
Yeah.
And so when we talked about like Lazer Team and making Lazer Team was actually a few years out until we started talking about this crowdfunding thing.
That's right. I'm sorry, I get distracted because I just realized that this mixer that we're using is also a drum machine.
It is. It's got little buttons on it.
Can I just get a little snare drum in here?
I don't think that's the way that works.
Oh God, I really want that snare drum.
Sorry, I'll add it in post. See, oh, that's crazy.
Yes. Give a little hi hat. Give a little hi hat.
I gotta stop getting distracted. Every time I'm a survivor, I get distracted by what something going on in the background here. But when we talk about when we look at making new productions, when we look at Lazer Team, that was always something by the scale of it that we wanted to make a few years from now. It was always going to be not next project, but the project after our next project.
Right.
And then we started talking about crowdfunding, and that helped.
It's so easy to put stuff off, unfortunately. When you start thinking about this will be our next project after we do this, and then something else comes up and it's like, well, let's just get this out of the way, and then we'll do that. And as long as it's the next project, it will always be the next project. It's got to be the current project. It's got to be the project that you're doing right now. And, it was such the idea for it is so big. We knew we had needed more funds and more resources and more people than we've ever had before. So it kind of actually got all wrapped up, not just in terms of what our production schedule was, but in terms of our move to the new studio. And we didn't really talk much about that yet, but one of the reasons that we moved to Stage 5 here at Austin Studios was not just for the facilities within Stage 5 and the other stages here that'll help us with Lazer Team, but there's actually a location really close by that we're going to use a lot in the production of the movie.
Yeah.
For the filming. So it was once we actually found that first as we were looking for locations for Day 5. And then realized, Austin Studios is right next to that. This would be smart. Let's just move over there, and then we'll be in the right place at the right time to get Lazer Team done. Exactly
right. And it's there's that old saying for writing advice, which is write what you know. And a lot of times in the history of Rooster Teeth for a big project, it's write what you have. Here's what we can do. Here's what makes the most amount of sense. Even going back to some of our early productions, like Red vs. Blue. A lot of the people that we knew weren't professional actors, but we could write characters that they could deliver dialogue for those characters, We cast people that made the most amount of sense for it. And it's when we get down to making Lazer Team, even though we have a multi-million-dollar budget on something like that.
That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say.
It is crazy. It's I paused before I said it to make sure that I was thinking that I was accurate. But yeah, absolutely. We have a multi-million-dollar budget. And, our approach with crowdfunding, too, was that we were at the point where we could make it, and we were going to, stretch and make it because we know what the budget is ourselves. And the budget is higher than what we put out there for crowdfunding. But the crowdfunding level of it was going to help us do things bigger and better. Oh, that lady's in trouble. I'm going to sneak around her. Do things bigger and better. And then the crowdfunding thing really took off at levels that, they didn't. I wouldn't say they really surprised us, but we were very, very, very happy about the way things turned out with crowdfunding. Very happy.
Yeah.
And so now we're in that territory where we can get additional press, which leads to more people interested in the project, more investment money. So it's like a snowball effect. It's really great. All right, this lady doesn't even know how bad she's got it right now. It's rough for you, lady. That's rough. In the bush.
What? Lady in the bush.
Get her. Oh, she's hurting. I'm going to chase her down. I'm going to get her. Up. Got her. That's it. Life's tough, lady. That's a tough run. She had a good run, though.
Yeah.
You feel bad at all?
No, not at all.
You want to take over playing again?
No, we're about out of time, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit. So anything else you want to say? Anything you want to talk about Lazer Team before we call quits?
Like you said about it not being surprising, the crowdfunding, it's one of those things that's shocking but not surprising, where it's I can't believe that people are donating this much money or contributing this much money, and at the same time I'm not surprised. But yeah, we're excited about getting started with it, and we've only got about a month and a half, 2 months until we're actually shooting.
Yes.
So
2 months.
It's a little bit little bit nerve-wracking.
A little bit crazy
around here because we have so much other stuff that we're trying to wrap up.
But we have people now that are just working on Lazer Team, and that's it.
We do.
We do. Going forward. So
we do.
It's not like we're like, hamstringing ourselves with other stuff.
No,
we're just
not at all.
We're in a way we're in this process of clearing the decks so that we can get everything done. And the big thing that the thing that's come up that's really kind of thrown a hook in the works is the fact that so many people are interested in working on the project with us. And then it's like, we have to kind of stop and like evaluate those opportunities and take a look at that. That's a very good problem to have.
It is. It's been interesting too because so many people have come out of the woodwork to ask about it. And there was somebody who left me a comment on the site the other day about a family member who was a production designer or an art director or something. And I thought, that's great. We're getting, directed towards resources from the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we've also had some people ask about casting for it as well. There's been a lot of interest in that regard. And, you might have something in particular, Matt, something that you might be revealing soon, right?
When's this video come out?
It's going to come out today.
Okay. So I don't know if this is going to come to fruition or not, but we're going to try to have an open casting call.
Oh, wow. That's a big reveal. Okay.
Of some type around RTX.
Okay.
If we can make it happen. So cross your fingers. Hopefully we'll do something along those lines.
So if you're attending RTX and you would be interested in having a part in a film that now has a multi-million-dollar budget, now you know how to do it.
I want trumpets to play every time you say that.
It makes me very happy. Look, after playing the game for 30 minutes, I now have a tutorial on how to use the weapons. That's nice. That's good timing. Nice thing about being a human is you can open doors. This is the longest I think I've ever been a human in this game. Well, Matt, looking forward to making Lazer Team. You and I have been looking forward to making Lazer Team or feature for many years. Many years. Getting back to what we do best, which is telling really cool stories and telling them in the biggest way that we possibly can. That's a human. You're dead. That's a human player playing as a zombie.
Also killing zombies.
Yeah, and also killing zombies. Matt, it's a pleasure.
Burnie, thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.